Coming up, at the time of recording, an invasion of Ukraine was looking imminent. A Brexiteer friend of mine asked if I would be making a video saying that it's all because of Brexit. Well, maybe not all to do with Brexit, but in this video, I will be looking at the hidden connections between Russia, the threat to Ukraine, Brexit, and the British Conservative Party. Stay tuned. Last week saw the Truth to Power channel pass the 1 million views milestone within just a few months of launch. Thank you so much to all of you who have hit the like button, subscribed and pinged the bell for notifications of future videos twice weekly. It really helps. Politics aside, I actually admire Vladimir Putin immensely. The Russians I know, doctors and other professionals, all admire him too and vote for him. But as a Russian nationalist, President Putin is on a mission to restore the power of the Russian Federation to its glory days as the USSR. For Putin, when the ex-Soviet colonies of Lithuania, Bulgaria, Latvia, Slovakia, Slovenia, Estonia, Poland, East Germany, Hungary and the Czech Republic became full members of the European Union, he saw it as a direct affront to the Russian state. The expanded territory of the EU ended the key Russian role in the control of half of Europe. And it's for that reason that Putin sees the EU as his and Russia's enemy. As long as a powerful and successful EU flourishes, enjoying the full commitment of Central and Eastern European countries right up to the borders of Belarus and Ukraine, then Russian ambitions to restore its former sphere of control seem remote. That's why Putin was so keen to influence the Brexit vote, because the prospect of the UK leaving the EU would mean a blow to European unity and, he hoped, would make a fractured EU less attractive to those Central and Eastern European citizens who had previously chosen to extricate themselves from a system of government run under the Kremlin's rules. The same reasons for him covertly helping bring about a British vote for Brexit are behind his support for his friends like Marine Le Pen in France, Viktor Orban in Hungary, the Law and Justice Party in Poland, and other populist nationalists who oppose the international rule of law, open societies and economies, and whose politics run counter to the EU. The current disputes between Poland and the EU and Hungary and the EU will be making Mr. Putin very happy. And at the same time that he saw Brexit as a blow against European unity, he knew that Brexit would also severely damage British economic interests and British global soft power. And he was right. We've seen a united front from Europe, with Putin spending 5 hours in talks with Macron last week, with the French President Macron closely involving Chancellor Scholz of Germany and Polish leader Andrzej Duda. But significantly not Britain's Boris Johnson. And Foreign Secretary Liz Truss's parallel trip to Moscow was a complete embarrassment, with Sergei Lavrov, the Russian foreign minister, calling her deaf and dumb, and Russian state media openly mocking her Thatcher-like fur hat, which she wore in an unseasonably warm Moscow. Dim Truss also pronounced that Britain would never recognise Russian sovereignty over the Russian regions of Rostov and Voronezh. So Deborah Bronnett, the UK's ambassador to Moscow, had to swoop in and quietly remind the Truss that the two regions have always been considered Russian territory by Britain. This prompted Russian Foreign Ministry spokesman Maria Zakharov to observe on social media, "Mrs. Truss, your knowledge of history is nothing compared to your knowledge of geography," a reference to Dim Truss recently confusing the Black Sea with the Baltic. Though to be fair to her, they are only 700 miles apart. How Russia are enjoying a humiliated and weakened post-Brexit Britain. And the connections between Putin's Russia and Brexit are extraordinary. It's not widely known that an ex-boyfriend of Carrie Johnson set up a pro-Putin website in Scotland, and another ex-flame of hers who worked in Moscow attended the launch of the Conservative Friends of Russia group with Carrie Johnson in 2012. The Conservative Friends of Russia group was set up and hosted by the Russian embassy in London on the direct instructions of Vladimir Putin. The former Foreign Secretary Malcolm Rifkind was conned into being president of the group, and the Kremlin organised an all-expenses-paid junket to Moscow and St. Petersburg for all the useful idiots amongst the Eurosceptic Tory MPs, and also founding member of the group Matthew Elliott, who was also the chief executive of Vote Leave and an associate of Dominic Cummings. Dominic Cummings himself lived in Moscow for a while, and it's not really known what he got up to there, the purpose of his stay, or what contacts he made. Number 10 has always refused to say what vetting Cummings had to go through to get access to the highest secrets of the British state as Johnson's closest aide. The fact he's now been ousted to be replaced as Johnson's closest advisor by someone else with Russian links, Carrie Johnson, is cold comfort. Because again, we don't know what vetting she's gone through. Meanwhile, details of Russian meddling in British Tory politics and support and involvement in the Brexit campaign are in a report compiled by the House of Commons Intelligence and Security Committee, the ISC, and covered in a previous Truth to Power video, linked now on screen. Heavily censored, the report still contains substantial evidence that Russian interference in British politics is commonplace, and that the UK government failed to investigate evidence of successful interference in democratic processes during both the Scottish independence and Brexit votes.
This lack of interest and responsibility is important because it translates directly across in terms of investigation into and action against interference. And we saw that when we looked into allegations that Russia sought to influence voters in the 2016 referendum on the UK's membership of the European Union.
It suggests a core dishonesty underlying Brexit, that the UK government didn't want to know about the part Russian influence played in the final vote. And if you don't look for evidence, you won't find it. MI5 was asked for their input by the Intelligence and Security Committee and provided a meagre 6 lines of text, as they hadn't been asked by the government to investigate. There are commentators and journalists who say that the Kremlin are really happy with the Russia report as it highlights the incompetence of the various sectors of the British government, while at the same time painting Russia as a mighty intelligence power. There will even be people watching this video who say that these accusations against Russia are just a conspiracy theory and that it's just Russophobia, which is a word much loved by pro-Kremlin TV station Russia Today as a catch-all accusation of anyone speaking out against Putin's rule. Is Russian interference in Western democracy just a conspiracy theory? Well, I've read the report, and I think there's more than enough to convince any rational thinker of the reality of Russian interference in British politics. And I would add that the Tory party have received £3.5 million of Russian-linked donations since they came to power in 2010. A large number of lords sitting in our upper house have business interests linked to Russia, or even work directly for major Russian companies linked to the Russian state. Cabinet Minister Brandon Lewis claims that Russian donors have given these millions of pounds to the Tories because they admired the party and the Prime Minister. Brandon Lewis himself received £25,000 from Lyubov Chanukin, a banker and the wife of President Vladimir Putin's former Deputy Finance Minister, and £23,000 from Alexander Temerko, a former chief of a Russian arms company. And it's not just Brandon Lewis. 13 other Tory cabinet ministers had also been given large sums from these same Russian-linked sources, including Theresa Villiers and Mark Pritchard, who also happen to be 2 members of the Commons Intelligence and Security Committee. I mean, bloody hell. Lyubov Chanukin is one of the biggest donors to the Tories, giving more than £1.8 million since 2012, which has given her access to top government figures during that time, including spending time with Prime Ministers Boris Johnson and Theresa May. Transparency International UK says that the vetting process for all political donors in the UK is little more than a box-ticking exercise. It's easy to evade the rules or not look too closely. With a government run by a Tory party swimming in Russian donations, swept to power on the promise to get Brexit done, a Brexit voted for following a Leave campaign funded, aided and abetted by Russian interests, is it any wonder that Brexit Britain's opposition to a Russian invasion of Ukraine now counts for nothing on the global stage and is openly mocked by Russian state media and Russian diplomats?